Perfect. And just to make sure everyone can see my screen. Yes? All right. Perfection. And you can only see the PowerPoint. Alex says she cannot see the PowerPoint. You can see everything.
I see your beautiful face.
Yeah, all I see is you. Can't
Oh,
see anything
okay.
else.
Let's rectify that. Let's see here. Here we go. Now,
There we go.
okay. All right. Now do you see the full slide?
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect. Okay. So once again, welcome to the SACAC Wide Drive-In Workshop 2026. And we are excited for this workshop. We've transitioned this to from the traditional drive-in workshop to more of what we call a State of the Union. And this will be a virtual format, which is just a member-wide virtual formatted session to provide an opportunity for our entire community, especially those that were unable to attend the conference, to stay connected and get informed. So you all will hear today directly from our newly elected president-elect. You'll receive important updates from our SACAC and NACAC, and also learn about meaningful ways to get involved and stay engaged with our organization. So on behalf of myself, Madison, and Catherine, we would like to welcome you and thank you for joining us to our SACAC State of the Union. Now, today you guys will see some familiar faces. Both Darren and Kristen are joining us as well. While they just rolled off the board, since we are in transition, we are grateful to them for taking this final lap with us as we transition to the next chapter with our new Rockstar team members. So they will be helping to co-lead this session as well today. So first and foremost, just a couple of virtual meeting norms. I know we are not new to this. We are true to this at this point, but just as a reminder, we are in a meeting setting, so not a webinar. So if you are not speaking, we are going to ask that you keep your microphone on mute. Prepare your space. So if you can possibly close your door and not be interrupted during this time span, that would be awesome. If you do have to get up and leave, you can turn your camera off if it is on and then turn it back on if you would like to have it on. We'd love to see your lovely face. It's not mandatory. Again, we have the chat available to you guys, so you are welcome to engage with us. If you would like to utilize the chat, we just ask for you to chat responsibly. And we won't be here for a long time, but for a good time. So be attentive and be present if at all possible. But if you do have to step away or if you have some technology issues, don't worry, we are recording. So you can always go back and refer to the recording. Here is just an overview of what today looks like. We're going to have a welcome by Ms. Pamela Bowie, our president-elect. You're going to hear from our president, Ms. Anita, and hear about some service opportunities within some of our committees that are available. And Derek Du Bois, our NACAC board chair, is going to wrap us up for today. Now, before I kick it over to Pamela, we do want to, one, ask you to use your chat features, all of those reactions, and just give a round of applause to our board members that rolled off for their service. We did share this information at our SACAC conference and also online, but just from us to you, thank you for your board service and all the work you have done. And we know what you will continue to do, even off the board, for SACAC. And then we want to send another congratulations. So don't go to sleep. Go ahead and put those emojis up again, because we want to say congratulations to our newly elected board members who are rolling on. And we are excited for the work that you all are going to do within our organizations and communities. So welcome. Now I'm going to kick it over to Ms. Pamela Bowie.
Thank you, Monique, and greetings from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Pamela Bowie, Associate Director of Admission Technology at Rhodes College and SACAC President-elect. Welcome to this year's SACAC Wide Drive-In Workshop. I do want to thank our board co-chairs for state and area initiatives, Madison Krim, Catherine Hilson, and Monique Tubbs for the invitation to share a few remarks and for all their hard work coordinating this virtual State of the Union. At the 60th Annual Conference in New Orleans, aptly themed Opening Doors, Changing Lives, SACAC President Anita Waugh challenged us to be the standard. For 60 years, SACAC has set the standard among ACAC affiliates, fostering a collaborative and inclusive network of college admission counseling professionals by promoting ethical responsibility, professional growth, student access, advocacy, and outreach, thus equipping and supporting professionals to help all students realize their post-secondary educational goals. And yes, I did just recite our mission verbatim. Our mission statement articulates who we are and why we exist, uniting our members across Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands. So what will it take to sustain this Southern standard for the next 60 years? Sustaining the standard requires you, your talent, your time, your ideas, and your energy. During today's State of the Union, you'll hear about opportunities to engage, connect, and serve throughout the year across various projects and initiatives within SACAC. Listen intently and consider, what do I have the capacity to do? What resources are available to me? What skills or passions could I leverage in service and connection to SACAC? During my many years of SACAC involvement, I've served in a variety of volunteer roles and worked for a variety of institutions with different levels of connection to the organization. State and area initiatives, communications, annual conference, governance and nominating, dry run, summer seminars, SACAC leads. I've done a little bit of everything. But each time I counted the costs and I said yes to those things that resonated with me, allow me to develop a professional skill or personal interest, those things that ignited a renewed passion in some aspect of this work. No matter where you are in the profession, approaching year 3, year 30, or anywhere in between, and no matter where you live and work in this affiliate, let your yes be your first step. Yes to serving one more year, yes to serving in a different capacity, or yes to remembering that you change lives every day and you are built for SACAC service too. Thank you and enjoy the rest of today's program.
Yes, thank you. And I'm so sorry for butchering your last name. Thank you for quietly checking me.
No, it's all good. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Moving right along, we've been inspired by our president-elect, so we're going to just keep it rolling to say our yes, and now we're going to move on to our president. The floor is yours.
I mean, okay, Pamela, you better welcome the people, Madam President-elect. That's the energy I'm talking about up here at 10:11 a.m. Good morning, SACAC. It is such a pleasure and honor to serve as your president, especially in this moment. I can't tell you how excited I am to share updates, celebrations, moments, and calls for your support throughout the year. But more importantly, I'm excited to get to know you all a little bit better. But I would certainly caution you in saying, don't get it twisted. The president doesn't do anything alone. We have such a great team, and you'll hear from a lot of us. But the phrase that we use a lot is a working board. So if we could advance that slide, I'll just share with folks kind of who you'll hear a lot from throughout the year. The first is the president's team. You'll see all those folks listed there and their beautiful smiles. Thank you all so much. You'll hear from all of these folks a lot, but we have one fabulous employee, Diana McAfee, who you will hear from very shortly. But I share that because everything else is in the hands of our volunteers. We'll advance one more time to share our beautiful, oh, nope, that's the wrong slide. We still didn't get it right. It's okay. If you go forward one and then we'll go back. Totally fine. Working board, that is our fabulous current board of directors, folks that I'm so excited to serve alongside. So thank you to all of you, but also thank you to our 200 plus volunteers. We continue to thrive because of your sacrifices, your creativity, and your great work. So, when I was asked to speak today, the charge was to share a little bit about myself and how I plan to engage all of you, the members, and maybe even my vision for the year. So, during our annual conference, I gave a much longer intro, and I will certainly spare you the repeat or my Soldier Boy lyrics. So, ultimately, SACAC was a place, the first place where my world expanded. I've had the opportunity to serve in a variety of roles and meet so many people and great leaders. Through this organization, I found mentors, colleagues, and friends who challenged, encouraged, and helped me imagine possibilities I hadn't yet considered. SACAC didn't just help me grow professionally, it helped me grow personally. As many of you heard, I met my husband through a SACAC event, a dry run, in fact, and he proposed at a SACAC conference in 2018 when we were in New Orleans. And I'm so connected to SACAC that the only reason why I've ever missed a conference was because I was pregnant. And for context, for those who haven't been around very long, I planned that conference in Jacksonville, so that was even more interesting. But SACAC runs deep in my heart, but my story is certainly not unique. SACAC exists as a community that will support you, challenge you, and remind you that you're not doing this work alone, even though we all need a little time to recover from the conference. Your board of directors and volunteers are already creating opportunities for more connection, professional growth, and conversations that will help us navigate our evolving landscape together. You'll hear from several committees today about the opportunities to learn and grow from one another, but you'll also likely learn of opportunities to intentionally engage as a volunteer. Speaking of volunteering, if you read my initial First Friday email, and yes, that will be a thing, that is my way to connect with you more consistently without it being a crisis or a need to respond to anything, just a sharing, another way for us to engage and keep you in the loop. We recognize we did a lot of less listening sessions last year under Arlene's leadership and Arlene Outerbridge. And one of the things that we learned is that we are missing opportunities to connect with you. So you started to see things like SACAC pop-ups as really informal ways, but this email that will land in your inbox every first Friday is just my way of being intentional and keeping plugged in that way. So that said, you heard from our executive assistant, Diana, that we're working on something to help folks get more plugged in. And over the summer, we're going to essentially revamp our volunteer process. And not to give away too much, but as it exists now, you complete a form with your interests, and sometimes that form is the very thing that connects you to just the right opportunity. But for many of us, myself included, it was not. It took a little trial and error of applying for things and seeing what landed, and that's okay. But truth be told, my first opportunity came by way of a text message asking if I'd be interested in helping with the Extend the Dream grant because they needed one more committee member to step in. This text came from someone who had befriended me my first travel season, and she was becoming a fast mentor at the time. Y'all know her, Brandy Smith, one of the most recent award winners at this year's conference, as well as a former board member and a past president of SACAC, had heard of the opportunity and knew that I was trying to find my footing in this organization. So I did what many of us do when we're eager. I said yes without a lot of knowledge and context, but that particular opportunity would set me up for many additional opportunities. And while word of mouth and personal connection will always be a great way to plug folks in, our team has discussed creating more on-ramps to volunteer opportunities and making it really clear. So we're hoping to do a better job of outlining those commitments that exist, time and skills, as well as letting you know what is even out there, even if the opportunity is filled, which is actually a great way for us to also acknowledge our current volunteers and the great work that they are doing or have been doing. It's a lofty goal, but we're all motivated to make this happen. More to come after we've had the time to do some work over the summer with our board of directors. Another thing on the horizon is something Arlene Outerbridge shared during our conference, and one that I reshared in the First Friday email. This past year, the presidential team, which included Sean Kennedy, has reviewed our bylaws, articles of incorporation, and strategic plan. A really interesting read. If you haven't done it yet, I suggest you do it because it won't be in the same format for when we get done with all of the plans we have for that for all of those documents. But through that process, we have identified a need for a deeper review of our policies, committee procedures, budget, and the development of comprehensive leadership handbook and operations manual. It became clear that we needed some expert guidance, and so we conducted a thorough search and completed some due diligence and consulted with SACAC Board of Directors and our advisors. And as a result, we did engage with Transcendent Law Group, a firm based in New Orleans that specializes in supporting nonprofit organizations like ours. There will be an opportunity for you all to ask all of the questions that you'd like, and you certainly can reach out via email at any point if you'd like to know more about what that process looked like, or even what the law group is doing for us. But we want you to know that we've begun a process where in the coming months, we'll propose some revisions to our bylaws to ensure that the language as well as the intent reflect our current needs. This is likely the most lofty goal that we have, especially as we think about the timing of all of this, but we can do it. We got it. When updates requiring a vote are shared with you, though, my ask of you is to be present, to review them carefully, and participate in the process. We will host a webinar at some point in advance of all of this to answer questions. But as a reminder, bylaw changes require a majority vote of members present. And that means we do need a quorum, people. So I need as many of you all to show up and participate in that call. It will likely happen in a virtual meeting, but we will keep you in the loop even beyond the first Friday emails. So please feel free at this moment, though, if you have questions, to reach out. As I shared, the timing of all of this is a little interesting. The goal would be before summer. Summer is happening like a few weeks from now. So we'll just keep you guys in the loop as some more information comes from our work with our Transcendent Law Group. As I close, I just want to share my hope as president is somewhat simple. I want to honor the legacy of those who built this organization, so many, many, many people, and to engage with you, the members, in ways that promote transparency and align with our mission that you heard Pamela read. I want to continue supporting and preparing leaders who will guide SACAC into the future, and also to make sure that SACAC remains a place where people, especially those who may not yet see themselves in leadership, can discover new possibilities. So let's continue to work. And you heard my charge from Pam. Let's continue to be the standard. And I look forward to connecting with you all truly throughout this year. Thank you.
All right, I'll just go ahead and jump in. I am Diana.
Formal introduction. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I knew to jump in, Anita. So I'm Diana McAfee, your executive assistant, and just have a chance to go ahead and invite you to the 2027 annual conference. As you very well may know, the annual conference is SACAC's largest professional development event with anywhere from 900 to 1,000 attendees. The annual conference includes a dynamic lineup with speakers, presenters, sessions, opportunities for networking, outreach, access to the latest products and services in our exhibit hall. We also include opportunities for college tours, wellness and athletic programming. We have an outreach project, the networking college fair. There's a lot that goes on in a very short period of time. So we are very excited to be hosting our 2027 annual conference in Mobile, Alabama. So we ask that we mark your calendars for April 18th through 19th. We'll be at the Mobile Convention Center. There will be optional pre and post conference events hosted on Saturday, April 17th and Tuesday, April 20th. We are going to have two different host hotels this year. There's a primary location at the Renaissance Mobile Riverview Plaza Hotel, and then a secondary location at the Renaissance Battle House Hotel that also has a spa. So Just throwing that out there. Might want to book the extra time to then relax after your whirlwind conference. Once you register for conference is when you receive information regarding how to reserve that hotel room. We are really looking forward to getting to this area in our association and being able to experience Mobile and Alabama. So we do hope that you will consider joining us and also sharing your expertise, putting in a session proposal, getting involved with us. Our call for session proposals will take place in late summer or early fall, and then registration is slated to go live in mid-December. All of these details and more are already live on the SACAC website. And then, as always, if you have questions, we invite you to reach out to the conference planning team. Dr. Corey Bailey is our annual conference chair. He handles all the logistics, the hotel, the volunteers, our schedule, all of the meat, the nitty-gritty things. I myself handle registration, exhibit, and sponsorship inquiries. I handle those sponsorship inquiries along with our advancement team. And then also Ms. Pamela will be handling our session proposals and all of our content. So again, you are welcome to reach out to us at any point. But SACAC is more than a conference. I will be honest, and maybe this is my one here's my my learning piece for today. It actually drives me crazy when people say I'm going to SACAC. SACAC is an association. SACAC is not a place. SACAC is not a conference. So I would charge you to be mindful. Say I'm going to the SACAC conference. Because again, SACAC is way more than the conference experience, way, way more. So I'm going to turn this back over to SAI so that you can continue to learn more about all of the things that SACAC is doing.
That is awesome. Thank you. And such a great segue into our committee conversations. So I will say this, I'm super excited about conference. I see Madison is as well. She put in the chat, I hope to see you in Mobile. I would love to know in the chat as well, me, Madison, and Catherine, who is planning to join us? Because I know it's a little bit further out, but if you are, just go ahead and put I'll be there or see you in Mobile. Madison already put hers in there. I'm planning to attend, but would love to see who else is planning to attend. But thank you, Diana, because that was a great segue into we are more than just conference. This is a list of all of our SACAC committees, and our president and president-elect both alluded to the fact that this organization can't run without our volunteers, and that's many of you. So we do thank those who are serving in various capacities. And today we are excited because while you may know a little bit about some of our committees, we do have some of our committee members that are present to share more about their organizations, more about their committees. The beauty in this is there's somewhere for everyone to serve. While you may only see a few highlighted today that are going to share more about their committee and opportunities to serve, just know that there is a place for everyone. You can reach out via our board emails or committee emails for more information, but excited to go ahead and jumpstart and turn it over to our very first committee to share a little bit more about government relations. So government relations, if you guys will go ahead, I will turn it over to you to give some information.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Anna, and I think Rose, my co-chair, is also on here as well. So GovRel is a wonderful place to really connect, especially with your state. We are in need of 2 co-chairs for Georgia next year because those 2, Brian and Sandria, will be rolling off. So if you're interested or you know anybody who might be interested in Georgia, please send them our way. All right. Next slide. I just want to go over quickly what the states have been doing. So in Alabama, Andrew and Sam engaged with members to get them more involved. In Arkansas, Steve and Sarah held a workshop where they learned about the LEARNS Act and TRIO programs. Richie in Florida held a workshop to provide tools and information needed to meet with state legislators in their hometown. And then in Georgia, they held a full day where we heard from SACAC President Anita Waugh, and we heard from NACAC's Director of Advocacy, Sean Robbins, who's a really great resource. Georgians for College Affordability, and the Georgia Student Finance Commission. In Louisiana, Marshall and Raynette, talked to people about how they could effectively advocate and speak with their legislators. And they also hosted Sean Robbins. Mississippi held a partnership between Magnolia State Counseling Association. And then North Carolina also did something a little different. Amy and Heidi did a virtual letter writing campaign to support their constituents. And then last but not least, I think the next slide is Tennessee. Emily and Kelly held a workshop with Ed Trust and Barrio Ed. And then Rose, my co-chair, she traveled to DC for National Advocacy Day. And so I just wanted to share everything that happened because some of them are virtual, some are in person, some are in DC. There's just so many different things. It's not just one thing. So if you have any interest, like even a 1% interest, please, reach out to us about learning more about GovRel.
Thanks so much, Anna. And I just wanted to jump in to say we have worked really hard over this last year to support our 8 member states of our 9 member states. We're looking forward to working with you and giving you all the resources that you need. Again, this is a space for members to come together, to be able to advocate on behalf of students, to be able to promote student-centered practices, to advocate for ability for students, international students, students that are immigrants, that are undocumented, students that need protections against fraud and abuse. We help school counselors. Some of our states work with counseling associations so that we can be able to promote a smaller counselor to student ratio. There's so many issues that are important to our member base that we work with within each individual state to really highlight the areas that are most important for you and your students, that we can be able to represent our association in the best way possible. So whether it's going to DC and talking to representatives or just being in your local community, we want to support the mission that you all do every day, because we are the experts and work with those students on a day-to-day basis. And there's no one better than you all to be able to advocate on behalf of your students and families. So we look forward to working with you. And even Anna was able to have a scholarship generated out of Georgia based on local advocacy efforts that include up to $3,000 for every single student. It's a tremendous amount that's so crucial for student college access. So there are a lot of wonderful outcomes that come from these events. And that's why we call them our Voices and Actions event, to really promote and be able to have your voice heard. So we hope that you can join us in whatever capacity, virtual or in person, but we look forward to working with you in the upcoming year. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much to the GovRel team. And I just want to circle back that if you are in Georgia and you are interested in serving, please reach out to their team. Their email is in the chat. They are looking for 2 volunteers. So thank you guys so much and great work. Next up, we have none other than the membership relations team.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I am Alex Gonzalez, located in New Orleans, Louisiana, and I'm going to spend a few minutes with you this morning speaking on behalf of the Member Relations Committee, including Jeffrey Pierce, who is in Florida, and John Palmer Ray in Tennessee. And I'm excited to see so many familiar names and faces here on the webinar today. And really, I wanted to, before we dive into some more kind of MemRel specific service opportunities, I really wanted to kind of circle back to something that Anita mentioned earlier, and that's that word of mouth and personal connection are such an important part of our association. And so although today you're going to hear so much about really specific ways that you can get involved within the organization, I really just want to empower everyone to acknowledge that you are a powerful ambassador for all that SACAC is and the tremendous work that we do. So to begin highlighting kind of that work, I really want to make sure everybody is aware of our free access membership for public high school and CBO counselors across our organization. We hope that your word of mouth and your connections are sort of spreading this great opportunity to become a part of our organization without barrier to entry of cost. And I also want to acknowledge for the private school counselors or independent counselors in the room that there are plenty of spaces within the organization and great work that is done that I think could be really powerful for our networks too. And so making sure that we're all serving as ambassadors and looking to our networks beyond SACAC to see how the work of SACAC can support them at large. So this is a call for all of us to really continue the good work of spreading the work that SACAC does in empowering colleagues in the organization to or inviting colleagues in the profession into the organization, whether that's through our free access membership or otherwise. All right, next slide. Now we'll dive into something, a big part of the work that membership relations or member relations does is through organization of our special interest groups, which are these kind of micro communities within our large organization. We have such a robust list and anticipate that this list may even grow throughout the year. What we wanted to point you to today is the fact that any of the names on the side of this slide that have an asterisk next to them are seeking leadership. So we have a ton of SIG leader openings this cycle, and we're thrilled to invite you guys to scan this QR code and consider leading a SIG group that you may be passionate about, a small community within our organization that you may be passionate about getting involved with. So, like I said, those that are have the asterisk by them are seeking leaders for this cycle. And then I want to highlight, we'll move on to the next slide, highlight the good virtual work that we have coming up with some of these SIG groups. You'll see that we have a ton of meetings coming up through the close of April and into May. Mark your calendars for these meetings if these are kind of the micro communities that you'd like to get involved with so that there can be some collaboration and good kind of end of academic year closing conversations. The registration information for these SIG meetings is always available online on the Info Hub or in your What's Coming Wednesday emails. So please don't hesitate to reach out to any of your MEMREL chairs if you have any questions about these opportunities or if there's anything that we can do to support you more broadly as serving as an ambassador for SACAC and spreading the good word of all the work that we as an organization do. Thanks, y'all.
Awesome. And I do want to highlight that What's Coming Wednesday is gold, as well as Growth Zone has all the tea. I see Catherine and Madison saying yes as well. It has such great information. So if you are not logging into Growth Zone as a member, you may be missing out. Okay. And if you're not reading those What's Coming Wednesdays, you're definitely missing out. So set your reminders every Tuesday night or every Wednesday morning so you can remember to read those emails because it's great information, and then log into Growth Zone because you can also register for events and programming from there as well. So thank you for reminding us, Alex, of that resource as well. Next up, PD, our Professional Development Committee. You guys are up next.
Thank you, Monique. I'm going to also welcome Justin to, I don't see him, but hopefully he's...
I'm here.
Oh, hey, Justin. Hi, everybody. Justin and I make up 2/3 of the Professional Development Committee. My name is Maya Walker, and I am welcoming you all from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'll let Justin introduce himself.
I'm Justin Fensky from Episcopal School of Baton Rouge.
So we're going to talk you all through all of our professional development programs and also the different kind of leader coordinator positions that we have coming up. So if we can go to the next slide, that'd be great. Okay, nope, backwards. I saw which one was first. Okay, there we go. No.
So this one's first, but
this one's first. Okay, we kept seeing the summer seminar one flash. So I was like, which one's first? Okay, here we go. Our first big programming that's coming up in June is the Sweet Tea Tour, happening Sunday, June 7th through Thursday, June 11th. It is taking place in Arkansas, Mississippi, and West Tennessee. incredible schools, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Hendrix, Rhodes, several HBCUs that are being highlighted on this tour. If you're interested, registration is open and has been open, and we love college counselors and new college counselors for you to take advantage of this opportunity. There are some real gems in this part of the SACAC region. And I want to make sure that I mention this a little bit, especially as we go into this next year where we're exploring Mobile for conference and we're taking our college counselors to this new part of Sweet Tea Tour. Something that's really important to professional development is that we are exploring all of the SACAC region. Everyone deserves love. And I know that there's popular states. It's easier for me to say that coming from Atlanta and being in Georgia. But I think it's really important to think about how we show up as an organization and how we support each other. And so we are continuing to see how we can make sure that our regions are all represented in as much of our programming as possible, not just in the chairs that we select, but also in the regions that we cover for Sweet Tea Tour, Summer Seminar, and Dry Run. So please consider this opportunity. It's so exciting. I wish I was a college counselor so I could go on this tour because there's some real gems that are really opening and welcoming their campus to our college counseling community. Next up is Summer Seminar, and I'll let Justin talk about that.
Sure. So we're going to be heading to Belmont University and Vanderbilt in Nashville, Tennessee for our second year at Summer Seminar. If you're not familiar with Summer Seminar, it is a program for new or nearly new college counseling professionals. Tuesday, July 14th through Friday, July 17th, and registration is open. If you haven't been part of Summer Seminar before, this is a small group conference. We have a total of 40 participants, so it's not, it's a real chance to get individual attention, learn from some great professionals. It is a fantastic program, but the spots do go quickly. So please make sure, or if you have somebody new entering your office for next year, consider getting them registered for this. Even if you haven't identified that person yet, we have instructions in place so that you can register them and then give us their name at a later point. So we would really love to see everybody there. We're excited to have a great week in Nashville again this summer.
Thanks, Justin. I believe next is Dry Run. We are going to be on the beautiful campus of Rollins College again this summer for Dry Run, which is Sunday, July 19th through Wednesday, July 22nd. Similar to Summer Seminar, but serving a different community. Dry Run is for new or nearly new admissions professionals in our industry. And so I will say the same thing as Justin said about Summer Seminar. If you know you're going to be hiring this summer and you don't know who those people are, it's okay to go ahead and register and hold those spaces. I've done that several summers knowing that it's super important for my new staff to be a part of this Dry Run experience and kind of have this professional development under their belt, but I wasn't at a place where I knew who I was hiring yet or really at an interview point where I had selected a person. So it's so crucial nowadays to make sure that we are investing in our teams and creating opportunities for them to grow professionally. And there's really not a ton of new college counselor, new admission professional workshops. So the fact that we have such long-standing experiences in SACAC is really a privilege. And so I encourage you, if you're a leader, someone making decisions in your office about the professional development for your staff, please consider this. Participant registration is about to be open. I made the slide last week, but it will be open this week. We are in the finalization of that, but put it on your radar, put it on your calendar. We'd love to have your peeps at Dry Run. Our fourth program is SACAC Leads. We just graduated a cohort at conference in New Orleans. So if any of you all are in the conference right now, or if any of you all are in that cohort and at this meeting right now, please shout yourself out in the chat. Or if you have a staff member who was a part of that cohort, please shout them out. It's incredible. And we want to thank Megan Roth and Lorenzo Meyer so much for their leadership in graduating that cohort. It was very special. My first time attending their graduation at conference, and I loved it so much. And it was just such a proud moment to see these leaders who really love our organization and love our industry. We are right now looking for a new co-chair for the Leads experience. This person will roll on for this year and complete in 2028. That co-chair application is open and has been in several What's Happening Wednesdays, or What's Coming Wednesdays. So if you have questions about that, you can reach out to SACAC Leads or you can reach out to Professional Development. The deadline for that is May 4th. And then excitedly, we've been receiving some emails from people who are like, I want to be in the next cohort. When does that application open? Well, it does open in the fall. So just be mindful of that. There is a commitment if you're selected for the Leads cohort of having to be at class days in the winter and spring, but we'll talk about that as we get closer to time. But just know if you are interested in being in the next cohort, the application will open this fall. And our final slide is about the bid host form. Oh no, one of our slides didn't make it. Okay, I'm gonna talk about it anyway. Sorry, SAI.
No, please.
We have our bid host form open for our future bidders for SACAC, dry run, and summer seminar. I talked about this at a couple of membership meetings, but we have released it in the What's Coming Wednesdays, and we sent out a singular push encouraging you. We've also reached out to some of you, and thank you for those of us who have met with us and are advocating for your universities to be potential hosts. But the biggest change that we've made from last year is we've made that bid form a dual bid form. So universities can bid to host dry run and summer seminar. They can also host to bid for hosting at their university and potentially a local hotel near them or one of the programs. So the deadline to submit your bid form is May 15th. If you have questions, we'd love to answer you. And also shout out to all of our program chairs for dry run and summer seminar who have made time to meet with prospective host proposal form submitters to talk about this. It takes a village to make this happen. And so we appreciate all of you for taking time out of your very busy schedule to advise these future hosts. But again, if you have questions, you can email us. Thank you for all you do, and I'll pass it back to SAI.
Thank you so much, PD. And I'm sorry, I'm not sure, technology would be technology, but I appreciate you being on top of things and being able just to spit it off. So thank you. We're going to move on to state and area initiatives. I'm going to ask if Madison and Catherine will introduce themselves. They are joining us. This is going to be their first year rolling onto the board. Whoop, whoop. Super excited. So I'll kick it over to Madison and then Catherine to introduce themselves.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Madison Krim, and this is my first year on the board, so I'm super excited to be here and work with state and area initiatives. I work at Mississippi State University in my professional role and have been a part of drive-in workshop for the last few years for the state of Mississippi, so I'm super excited to work with other states and be part of SAI.
And hey everyone, my name is Catherine Hilton. This is also my first year on the board, serving in area initiatives. I work at the University of South Carolina in admissions, and again, like Madison said, excited to be here. Prior to this, I did a lot with state area initiatives in South Carolina, so excited to learn a lot more and serve on the board. Thanks.
And my name is Monique Tubbs, and I used to be the drive-in workshop chair for the state of Florida. And this is my last year on the board, and I am super excited to work with both Madison and Catherine. They've already started working, but just to continue the work. So just a little bit about SAI, as we affectionately call state and area initiatives. Under our umbrella, I love to say this, one of our former board members called us the informants like a year or so ago, and I've been kind of sticking with that because we do share a lot of information and try to truly build connections and educate and inform. So under our umbrella, we have volunteers for state and area initiatives, or SAI chairs, and we also have drive-in workshop chairs. So our each state has a SAI, or state and area initiative chairperson, that facilitates meetings. It's usually twice during the year. We have an in-person meeting for each state at our SACAC annual conference, and then we also have a virtual meeting in the fall. Now, this year, we are doing some things a little bit different. We are planning to have just one statewide meeting in November, and we will make sure we share that date so we have plenty of time to save it. And our SAI chairs will facilitate conversation after that general update from all of our board committees, and have just some state-specific breakout session time in order to share that information provided from their state, creating a safe space for connection among all of us as college admissions professionals. With that, we also have our drive-in workshops, and these workshops happen typically once a year and in the spring. This year, we're looking to host our workshops from February to March, and then our conference will follow in April. And these workshops are one-day seminars specifically for high school counselors and advisors or college advisors, and they are just a great way for some professional development. They're usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours. They can be in person or virtual. Majority of ours in the past couple of years have been virtual, but there are some that are considering to move to an in-person format, but you will get more information about those dates to come. And they are just a great opportunity, again, to learn and grow as professionals, and even earn professional development points if needed. With that, Madison and Catherine and I would just want to just pause and say thank you to our volunteers. These are some of our volunteers. We have some that are pending, which is a great thing. To say thank you for all of your hard work with planning this programming. Your hard work doesn't go unnoticed, and we truly appreciate all of you. So thank you, thank you, thank you for your service to SACAC. But we also are looking for more volunteers. You know, I told you in the beginning, there's a place for everyone. So you can reach out to myself, Madison, and Catherine via our email, stateinitiatives@sacac.org, especially if you see here listed on the screen, you are in one of those states, Arkansas, you're in the Caribbean, Florida, Mississippi, or Tennessee. We'd love to have some conversations with you about how you can serve and in what capacity under state and area initiatives. Catherine and Madison, anything you guys want to add? Okay, they've given me the go-to. We can keep on rolling. Kicking it over now to Kristen.
So I'm hopping in for Kristen. Hey, everybody.
Okay, no problem.
Aaron Morgan at Providence Day in Charlotte, North Carolina, former board member of SACAC on SAI. Congrats to Madison and Catherine for filling in. I know it's going to be a great couple years for you. So the committee we're going to talk about now is IAS. That's Inclusion Volunteers that put on great events in the community. They're the ones that put on the community service at conference. They do the virtual book clubs with discussions. So it's really like a virtual safe space for like-minded educators. If you see those calls, I believe they happen quarterly, maybe a little bit more often. Feel free to hop on. All those events are free and they happen on a pretty regular schedule. So great opportunity to kind of ease into SACAC. Next slide. All right, so a couple other ways to really get involved. So let's say you've hopped in some of these committees, you're new to SACAC, you actually want to get a chance to go to conference or take advantage of some of those things that we have, like the Sweet Tea Tour, the summer seminar, but you work at an institution that may not have the funding or the resources to do it. How can you still get involved? So 2 ways. One will be the Council Participation Fund. So through SACAC, we actually offer grants for members of our organization. With these grants, they can cover up to the full freight of attendance to conference, including transportation. So if funding is an issue, if you work at a public school or a CBO, this is a great way to fund it. So go ahead and scan that or go online to our website to get that link. Next slide. And one other way to get involved is the Extended Dream Grant. So if you, let's say you're in a city and you have a few ideas of how you can serve students within your area, The Extended Dream Grant is a great way to get funding for that. A couple of ideas that some former members have pushed through in the past and got funding for it are college tours, clocks and calculators for the ACT, resources and food for college education workshops, and so many other ways. I believe the grant goes up to $4,000, and it is oh, I'm sorry, I lied. It's $1,500. So not as much as 4,000, but it's still a lot of seed money to get your idea off the ground. And again, it's still free money, so go ahead and scan that code as well to see how to apply. All right, next slide. And take it back. So for our next speaker is really a person that doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to do it anyway. This is a internationally renowned college admissions counselor. He's well known for his public network. This guy knows everybody. If you've been to SACAC, you've seen that for yourself. He is also the director of college counseling at Miami Country Day School and the board chair for NACAC. So I'm going to turn it over to Derek at this time.
All right. Well, thank you, Darren. And of course, it's great to see everybody here today. With that, it's kind of funny and serendipitous after over 20 years now, in the college admission counseling profession that for the first time in my life, I am found finally, after being honorary SACAC for all these years, actually a SACAC member in a SACAC school. So it's been very exciting, very embraced by each and every single one of you, and definitely to be a part of the SACAC family. This has been an exciting year. As I'm looking at the screen today, I'm seeing so many great faces and folks and names that I've known for so many years that have truly sustained me in this profession and the work that we do. But of course, it's a joy to be with you as the SACAC family. And as chairman of the NACAC Board of Trustees, I bring you greetings on behalf of our association, our staff, and CEO, Angel Perez. I've been here at Miami Country Day for 8 months now. It's been a total change of pace after 20 years on the college campuses to now working in a more detailed and intimate fashion with our students and our families here in Miami. But it really has been a wonderful experience. And I'm so thankful for all of you and the opportunity that we have had to engage along the way to also be a part of this region. I really think quite fondly of NACAC and the call that we have in these unordinary of times for daring leadership. I have always said the strength of NACAC is our members and the work of all of our affiliates. We are truly in this together. And this morning, of course, I want you to use that energy, that passion and spirit that you have in SACAC, but to also understand that you are part of an even bigger family in NACAC. If we were together right now, we would probably be doing a call and response. My famous "We Are NACAC" cheer. I always say as NACAC's cheerleader, I'm going to always uplift the work of our association and our near 28,000 members from all over the world. SACAC, I thank you so much for being a part of the NACAC family, where there's much going on in our association. SACAC has been extremely well represented at the national level, with Jonathan Farrell and Myra Simpson serving on our board of trustees, with many SACAC legends that have come before. I'd like to give a shout out to Anita Waugh, our SACAC president, along with Pamela Bowie, your president-elect, and Arlene Outerbridge, your immediate past president. This trio serves as a part of our APC, Affiliate Presidents Council, and represents NACAC's 23 affiliates. Again, thank you all for what you have done for NACAC. And as the current board, I can say we truly do stand on the shoulders of giants. This morning, I'd like to turn our attention to some pressing matters in higher education in the work that we do. One being NACAC's advocacy efforts in elevating our professional voice. Amid the current political turbulence, NACAC continues to deliver a clear and steady voice for students, families, and the college admission counseling profession. Our advocacy is grounded in real-time feedback from members and strong collaboration across the higher education ecosystem. NACAC has a regular presence, I know you've heard about already today, on Capitol Hill. It means with the Department of Education, and some of our recent NACAC advocacy efforts have included defending student aid, transparency, and institutional stability. NACAC's advocacy helped keep some harmful provisions out of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. NACAC also advocated against efforts to weaken the education department through interagency transfers. We underscored the risk these actions pose to students protections, financial aid administration, and institutional clarity. When we meet with members of Congress, our message is clear. Policymakers must safeguard equitable pathways in for post-secondary education. This includes preserving FAFSA access, Pell Grant stability, institutional resources, and removing barriers for low-income, rural, immigrant, international, and marginalized student communities. Protecting pathways for international and undocumented students. NACAC coordinated closely with the President's Alliance and other partners to oppose federal efforts that restricted international enrollment, including obtaining visas and that threatened in-state tuition for undocumented students. We signed onto the Advanced Amicus Briefs, a coalition of responses that challenged state and federal actions undermining educational access for immigrant communities. We continue to protect, advocate for our membership while being watchful of the students that we support from all walks of life. Responding to some of the executive orders and administrative actions, NACAC issued rapid response analysis of new executive orders targeting DEI, campus speech, accreditation, and student support programs. We created member-facing webinars and sessions to help institutions understand the scope of these orders and their practical implications for counseling offices and admission teams. We have truly elevated our profession's voice within NACAC. NACAC launched major outreach campaigns to collect member perspectives on student need, resource constraints, and the impact of federal decisions on day-to-day practice. These insights directly shaped our comment letters, Hill outreach, and public statements. We strengthened our coalition with advocacy and national partners, amplifying shared positions of college affordability, transparency, and equity. It truly has been amazing to watch the partnerships and really how NACAC has really continued to evolve over the last decade in our work with member organizations and our partners from all over the world to work together to forward the mission of higher education. Some of the advocacy that you heard about earlier that's going to continue in 2026 will continue to work to revisit efforts to dismantle the education department and weaken student aid and civil rights enforcement. We emphasize this essential role of federal oversight in ensuring access, fairness, and accountability across post-secondary education. As many of you know, the 2026 midterms will reshape our policy landscape. NACAC will help members understand what is at stake and how to communicate the sector's needs within their own communities. Last month, as some of you already heard about and participated in, NACAC engaged in National Advocacy Day in Washington, D.C. This opportunity enabled our members of affiliated organizations to engage directly with members of Congress and advocate on behalf of students and the profession. The foundation of NACAC, as I've always have said, is when we as members also invest in ourselves through greater philanthropic support. Philanthropic support of NACAC hit a record high in 2025. Among the investments in NACAC was funding from Strada Education Foundation to launch a Design Your Life DYL fellowship that trains high school counselors and college access advisors in a proven life design curriculum that's been adapted to help students make informed college and career decisions. The inaugural DYL cohort is currently underway, and I cannot wait to see what this first year looks like for them. NACAC is actively seeking more philanthropic and mission-aligned partners. This has been such a personal project for me within NACAC, and I'm so happy to see what we have done and turn the page in our philanthropic efforts over the last 8 years. With the leadership from Tommy Amal, NACAC's new Chief Advancement Officer, NACAC is engaged with more foundations and potential donors than ever before. NACAC is also working to build a culture of philanthropy among our members. In our publications and email communications, NACAC encourages members to consider NACAC among their yearly philanthropic giving. The Philanthropic Advisory Council, which I happen to be a part of, brings in leaders from foundations and prominent NACAC members currently to serve on the PAC by providing guidance to Angel and Tommy on our philanthropic efforts in NACAC. So here are some ways to engage. I actually want to give some shouts to some folks I know that are part of the SACAC family, such as Rick Clark, and of course, Nancy Bean, that also serve on the PAC. Many ways to engage with the NACAC throughout the year. One is membership. There are so many benefits to NACAC membership, from networking to advocacy, best practices to professional growth. NACAC is the professional home of college admission counselors in the United States and from around the world. Professional development. Register for one of our outstanding professional certificate programs in relevant areas, such as college admission for emerging leaders, data-informed territory management, our international university advocate, and more. Guiding the way to impact. Now, I know many of you in this room today are very committed to championing the needs of all students within the college admission process. I invite you to join college admissions counseling professionals this summer in Washington, D.C., July 28th through the 29th, to reflect on current issues and share best practices related to equity in higher education. We're going to have a time on GW's campus this summer. And also, of course, I invite you to join over 7,000 members at NACAC's annual conference, NACAC 2026. Save the date for October 8th through 10th in Minneapolis, Minnesota, the home of Prince. Our theme is Onward. Come network, engage, and re-energize with our signature annual event. This is an incredible opportunity to experience outstanding education sessions, main stage events, and to convene with peers from around the world. It truly is a time that you will not want to miss. My friends, of course, as you know, I am truly sustained by our work in NACAC. It is a joy to virtually be here with all of you this morning. It's so proud of me to see the work that all of you are doing in SACAC and the care that I have for NACAC as an organization that truly is the heart of me. So my friends, thank you for having me with you this morning. I'm loving the conversations that we're having, but I'm going to turn the floor back over to the rest of you and look forward to hearing the great things that are to come within SACAC.
Thank you so much, Derek. If you guys will use the chat, just giving him a round of applause. Thank you for joining us. I was a little distracted though by the beautiful palm trees in the back. I don't have those in Central Florida, but it
How we
just
do it down here in Miami.
Thank you so much, and we truly appreciate you again joining us again this year.
Thank you.
And if you guys will see in the chat, there's also a direct link. Derek talked about a lot of upcoming events and programs. I just put a direct link in there for the NACAC events, so you can go look back and see when those dates are that Derek mentioned, and you can sign up. And if you aren't a member, of course, we would love for you to become a member of NACAC and get actively engaged, not only in SACAC, but also NACAC. So thank you again. I'm going to reshare my screen so we can get ready to close out this Rockstar session today. If you guys would just give me the thumbs up, those that are on camera, that you can see my screen. Okay, I see you guys. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Catherine. Okay, and I think we are still spotlighting the great man who is Mr. Derek. So let me see if I can, not that he minds. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So first of all, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It has been such a wonderful session. I hope that you learned either more about SACAC or you learned about SACAC if you are new. Do want to encourage you, if you are not a member, when you hang up from this call, go ahead and if you are eligible, take advantage of the free access or FAM membership and sign up now. Right? So you can continue to get that information and the resources that were shared today. And if you are a member, take full advantage of membership, get involved, actively engaged, making sure you are reading the What's Coming Wednesdays and you're looking at all of the resources that are provided online. Our social media or committee, our comms team does a great job with sharing information on all of our different outlets. So follow, share, like, all the things, but there is a place for you. So not only sign up for membership, but get actively involved as a member, because as you can see, there's plenty of room for you. This will be a slide. I would say take a screenshot or a photo, scan the QR code, because our upcoming events, we still have a few that are happening this year. You heard some of them in our presentation, but just kind of as an overview, this shows you what's coming. And also, if you check in the chat, there's a direct link to this QR code if you're unable to scan, to also see those SACAC events that are coming up. And again, you can see them in Growth Zone as well. So our IAS Forum, May 20th, Sweet Tea Tours, Summer Seminar, and Dry Run are all great professional development programming that PD talked about today, but just so you have an overview, they're right here for you on the screen. From State and Area Initiatives, Madison, Catherine, and myself, as well as our former board members on, like I said, their last rodeo. We say thank you for joining us today. It has been an awesome session, and we hope again that you enjoyed it as well, that you will go back and you will play the recording, and you will also continue to show up as an active member in our organization, or join if you have not already. If you are wanting that information about our Facebook and our Instagram, it's right on the screen as well. I encourage you to follow so you can stay up to date. We also have a LinkedIn account as well. So that helps you kind of stay in the know. But with that, we are going to go ahead and sign off for this morning. And again, have a great rest of your day. And we thank you for joining us for our SACAC State of the Union. Have an awesome day.